Once upon a time, far away from the city, there was a small province called Little Switzerland. In that province, there are two young siblings named Mariah and Christine. They live independently and struggle to survive every day because they have been abandoned by their parents and family.
They stayed, ate, slept, and lived on the streets. It felt as if the streets were their home. Nothing was easy. Their lives were filled with hardships and problems. To survive each day, Mariah and Christine begged from people passing by on the streets, asking for a little money so they could buy food and water.
Every night, they gathered trash, collecting recyclable materials and metal, which they sold at the nearest junk shop. They earned a little money from selling these materials, even if it was only a small amount, just enough to survive and provide for their basic needs.
Every day they followed the same routine. Rain or shine, Mariah and Christine continued to struggle and work hard.
One night, the rain became very strong, almost like a storm. Their clothes and belongings were completely soaked. Christine started crying because the rain was so heavy, accompanied by lightning and thunder, and she had nowhere to take shelter. Mariah felt sad seeing her younger sister cry, so she searched for a place where they could stay safe and avoid getting wet. Looking for shelter, they found a waiting shed where they stayed temporarily while the rain poured heavily.
When the rain stopped down, they looked for another place to stay since people would soon pass by in the morning. Before searching for a place to sleep again, they collected trash first so they could earn money for food. Because of their hard work, they were able to save about 200 pesos. They used the money to buy food for the whole day and carefully rationed it.
Later that night, it rained again, but not as heavily. Mariah began thinking about where they could stay. Then she remembered that there was an empty classroom at the nearby school. She thought to herself, what if we tried to approach the principal and ask if we could stay in that vacant classroom?
That's a good idea, ate, so we won't get wet when it rains again. The next day, they went to the school to ask the principal if they could stay in the empty classroom. When they entered the school, they asked a student where the principal office was. The student replied rudely,
Why are you here? Aren't you beggars?
Mariah and Christine seemed to lower their heads, feeling embarrassed. Still, they continued walking until they found the principal.
Mariah politely said, Good morning, sir. May we ask you something?
The principal replied, What is it, children? How can I help you?
Mariah explained, Sir, we heard that there is an empty classroom here. We don't have parents who don't have a place to stay, especially when it rains. May we please stay there for a while? I feel very sorry for my younger sister because she often cries since we cannot sleep properly when it rains.
The principal felt pity for them and said, I feel sorry for your situation. You may stay there, but once classes begin, I cannot guarantee that the classroom will remain empty. But for now, you may stay there.
Mariah and Christine gratefully replied, Thank you very much, sir. This is a big help for us.
While staying in the empty classroom, the routine remained the same. They continued begging and collecting trash so they could eat. One day, while they were collecting trash, Mariah and Christine felt very tired and decided to rest for a while. They thought to themselves,
This is so tiring. How long will we have to live like this?
But despite their difficult situation, Mariah and Christine still look forward to each day. They always tried to see the bright side of life. They believed that someday they would overcome their struggles and that their lives would become better in the future.
One day, the school principal was replaced by a new one, but Mariah and Christine did not know about this. When the new principal arrived, he inspected every classroom. When he saw the classroom where the children were staying, he noticed their belongings and the mess inside.
The principal angrily called the school caretaker and asked, "Whose these things are? And why is it so messy here?"
The caretaker replied, "They belong to the two children who were allowed to stay here by the former principal."
The new principal said angrily, "Make them leave. This is not allowed."
The caretaker obeyed and threw away the children's belongings. Mariah and Christine had no idea that they had already lost their shelter. When they returned, they were shocked and deeply saddened to see their things thrown away and to learn that they had been forced to leave.
With a heavy heart, they pick up their belongings from the trash and walk away. They return to the waiting shed.
While they were there, a woman named Stacy approached them and asked, "Where are your parents, children?" "Our parents abandoned us, Ma'am. We don't know where they are. My sister and I just work hard so we can eat."
Stacy said, "I haven't seen you here at night lately. I used to see you here."
Christine replied, "We stayed in an empty classroom at the school, but when the new principal arrived, he forced us to leave, so we came back here." Stacy then thought to herself, "What if I bring these children to my house? I live alone anyway. At least their lives will improve and they will be able to eat properly." She then said, "Kids, I have an offer. You can stay at my house so your lives will become better. You won't have to struggle every day collecting trash."
Mariah with teary eyes asked, "Really, Ma'am?"
"Yes, children, it's true," Stacy replied. "This is an opportunity for me to help you. I will also send both of you to school."
Mariah decided that she should accept the opportunity because it was something she had long hoped for.
Stacy was very happy that the children accepted her offer. She brought them to her house.
When they arrived, the children were shocked and cried with joy because the house was beautiful. It was the first time they had experienced something like that in their entire lives. The house was very big, and when they explored it, they saw a swimming pool, which made them even happier.
Stacy's house helpers were surprised to see the children and asked, "Who are these children? Are they your relatives?"
Stacy explained their story and said she brought them home because she felt pity for them.
The helpers welcomed them warmly. Stacy and the helpers treated the children with love and care. They gave them everything they needed: toys, delicious food, and most importantly, a comfortable bedroom where they could sleep peacefully and finally feel safe.
Later on, Stacy did not know that one of her helpers, Yaya May, had two daughters she abandoned years ago. When Yaya May saw the children, she noticed that they looked similar to her own daughters. Her heart tightened as memories of past came back to her.
After several sleepless nights thinking about it, Yaya May finally told Stacy the truth, that she once had two daughters she had abandoned because life had been extremely difficult and she had fallen into depression after her husband left her.
Eventually, Stacy gathered Mariah and Christine in the living room because there was something important they needed to know.
With tears in her eyes, Yaya May said, "My children, I think you might be my daughters."
Everyone cried as the truth unfolded. Yaya May begged for forgiveness, saying she deeply regretted abandoning them. Mariah and Christine hugged her tightly as they finally reunited with their mother.
They forgave her and expressed their gratitude that they had found each other again.
From that day on, Mariah, Christine, and their mother, Yaya May, live happily together in Stacy's home.
One peaceful evening, while resting in her bed, Mariah smiled and said with teary eyes, "Thank you, Lord, for giving us an unexpected and wonderful blessing. Despite the hardship we experienced before, This is what we have been waiting for, to finally overcome our struggles and have a better life. Thank you to the people who became instrument in changing our lives. We should never lose hope and should always look at the positive side of life.
Mariah, Christine, and Mama May embraced each other with love and gratitude.